In the United States, there is the state of New Mexico. Although it is a region in the United States, why was it named Mexico? Many people in the US might be familiar with this, but you, who are reading this, might not know about it. In conclusion, it can be seen as a trophy obtained from the United States' victory over Mexico in the Mexican-American War. The United States was able to lay the foundation for today's superpower, thanks to the enormous territory it gained through this war. Mexican-American War. Let's find out now. The U.S. state of New Mexico got its name when Spanish explorers who entered the region in the early 16th century called it Nuevo Mexico. The name was taken from the Valley of Mexico and was intended to reflect the new territory north of the Mexican colony, officially adopted when the United States acquired the region following the Mexican-American War and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848. This acquisition represented a significant expansion of U.S. territory. The state's rich cultural heritage is influenced by its history as part of Mexico and earlier Spanish exploration. The name New Mexico symbolizes the fusion of U.S. and Mexican history in the region. The Mexican-American War took place from 1846 to 1848 and had a major impact on both countries. In Mexico, this war is called U.S. Intervention in Mexico, emphasizing a different point of view. This conflict arose from America's expansionist ambitions and Mexico's efforts to maintain its northern territories. The war resulted in significant territorial changes, with the United States acquiring large swaths of territory in Mexico, setting the stage for further expansion of the United States and internal conflict, especially over the issue of slavery, and had long-term effects, shaping the future of North America and U.S.-Mexico relations. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase from France was a major event leading to the Mexican-American War. The United States hoped to secure navigation and commerce on the Mississippi River by purchasing this territory from France, and the purchase doubled America's territory and sparked debate about the country's future direction. President Thomas Jefferson was instrumental in acquiring this territory, despite his considerable opposition. These purchases reflected the expansionist thinking that later influenced U.S. actions toward Mexico. This created tensions with neighboring countries and laid the foundation for further territorial ambitions. When Mexico gained independence from Spain in 1821, it inherited a vast territory that included modern-day Texas. In the early days of independence, Mexico faced political instability and economic difficulties. As U.S. settlers began moving into Texas, tensions between the settlers and Mexican authorities grew, culminating in the Texas Revolution in 1836, when Texas declared independence from Mexico. Despite Mexican efforts to regain territory, Texas was annexed by the United States in 1845, worsening the conflict between the two countries and becoming one of the important causes of the Mexican-American War. The Battle of the Alamo, often considered the Battle of Thermopylae in U.S. history, occurred during the Texas Revolution of 1836. Mexican forces, led by General Santa Anna, laid siege to the Alamo Mission in San Antonio. Despite being outnumbered, 186 settlers, including David Crockett, resisted for 13 days before finally being captured. The battle became a symbol of Texan resistance and heroism, rallying support for Texas's fight for independence. "Remember the Alamo" became a rallying cry for the Texan Army. Films depicting this battle include The Alamo, 1960, and David Crockett, 2004. The prelude to the Mexican-American War was marked by heightened tensions and failed negotiations. As U.S. settlers continued to flock to Texas, the U.S. government offered to purchase the territory for $30 million, but Mexico refused. Political instability in Mexico and U.S. settlement and militarization in Texas increased tensions. In 1846, Mexican and U.S. armies clashed near the Rio Grande, escalating into open conflict. The United States declared war on Mexico in the name of this conflict, claiming that U.S. blood was shed on U.S. soil, and the U.S. military's successful strategy and superior supply system ensured victory over the Mexican army. The outbreak of the war was influenced by President James K. Polk's expansionist policy of expanding U.S. territory into the Pacific. At the beginning of the war, U.S. troops launched an offensive on the Rio Grande border, quickly overwhelming the Mexican defenses due to the northern region's distance from Mexico's central power. The U.S. offensive shifted focus to California, where U.S. settlers revolted, leading to the quick capture of key locations like Monterrey and Los Angeles. Despite initial successes, Mexico did not surrender, prompting the U.S. to launch a full-scale offensive into mainland Mexico, capturing Veracruz and advancing towards Mexico City. The Mexican defenders hoped disease would decimate U.S. troops, but the U.S. military advanced unimpeded, culminating in a decisive victory at the Battle of Chapultepec on September 13, 1847, leading to the capture of Mexico City and a significant blow to Mexican forces. Facing continued defeats and increasing U.S. occupation, the Mexican government proposed negotiations, effectively surrendering to the U.S. The war ended with the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in February 1848, officially ending hostilities. Under this treaty, Mexico ceded vast territories to the United States, including current U.S. territories such as California, Nevada, and Utah. In return, the United States paid Mexico $15 million and assumed the claims of U.S. citizens. This territorial acquisition accounted for more than half of Mexico's territory and represented a significant expansion of U.S. territory. The treaty satisfied the expansionist goals of U.S. leaders and established the U.S. presence in the Southwest. The terms of the treaty had a lasting impact on both countries, reshaping the geopolitical landscape of North America. The Mexican-American War was criticized by figures as diverse as Abraham Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant. Lincoln viewed this war as an unjust conflict caused by expansionist greed, and Grant compared it to the wars of European monarchs. This war influenced U.S. foreign policy and established the American tradition of interventionism in later conflicts. The war caused cultural and demographic damage, especially in Mexico's ceded territories, and the subsequent treatment of Mexican residents in the ceded territories had long-term effects on U.S.-Mexico relations. The legacy of the war continues to be a point of reflection and debate in both the United States and Mexico.